Welcome back to the miniseries Beyond the Big Top Circus-Based Interventions in Occupational Therapy. This is episode 4 Real World Transfer Beyond the Circus Space. And so, this episode, I really wanted to explore one of the most important questions in occupational therapy: what carries over from intervention into real life? So, while circus based activities may take place in a structured, playful, or therapeutic environment, their true value is not limited to that space. This episode highlights how engagement in circus based intervention can transfer into everyday occupations such as school, work, leisure, and even social participation as well. The key idea is that what happens in circus does not stay in circus, it transfers to life. In occupational therapy, the ultimate goal is not simply performance within a session, but meaningful participation outside of it. We are not only asking, can a person complete this activity here? We're also asking, does this experience support their ability to engage in real life occupations? Circus based intervention becomes powerful when the experiences within it begin to influence how a person approaches daily life. And so, one of the most noticeable areas of transfer is confidence. When individuals engage in circus activities, they are often encouraged to try new movements, attempt challenging tasks, and persist through mistakes in a supportive environment. And over time, this can build a sense of self efficacy, the belief that I can try this or I can figure this out. This confidence does not stay within a therapy space. It can carry over into school, where a child may become more willing to participate in class activities or attempt challenging assignments. It can carry into work settings, where an individual may feel more comfortable taking on new responsibilities or learning new tasks. It can also carry into community participation, where someone may feel more open to engaging in unfamiliar environments or social situations as well. And this shift is not only or not about the circus skill itself, it is about the internal experience of success. Another important area of transfer is participation in play and leisure and social interaction. Circus based intervention often involves shared experiences, partner work, and group activities, which I saw pediatric site with the kiddos. It was so great to see them work together and problem solve. Different individuals actually received the hat. I have a hat over here that they put on and demonstrated a skill where we all imitated and copied that skill. And it didn't matter if we did it correctly. Someone moonwalked, or they said, "Yeah, let's try that. Wait the score." And so it was so fun to see how everyone did it in their own way. Even for one of the sessions, one kiddo seemed so engaged with the beanbag activity, and the teacher noted that typically for that kiddo, they seem less engaged, but today for that circus-based intervention session, that kiddo was much more engaged, and she noted the colors, the involvement, and the participation. And it was so great to see and hear that that was a great outcome for that child to be more engaged for the sessions, and it even increased throughout. These naturally create opportunities for communication, cooperation, turn taking, and social connection as well. And as individuals become more comfortable in these social environments, may begin to generalize those skills beyond therapy or beyond the therapy setting. For example, a child who participates in group circus activities may become more confident joining playground games. An adult may feel more comfortable participating in community based leisure or group fitness activities. I remember for one of my sites, the adults, this is an independent living facility where they kind of mentioned that, wow, I didn't know that about you. They shared a lot of stories over the Circus Arts Day where we had paint and we had canvases, paintbrushes, all of the good stuff. And we focused on, I drew some circus themes on the canvases, and they had a chance to paint in whatever colors they wanted. They had conversations while completing this activity, and it was so great because I heard so many stories that was being shared, and I said, "Oh, I didn't know that." And how is, they just brought up so many different memories, And it was so great to hear because tying it back to the statement of uh, the adults may feel more comfortable participating in community based or any activity as they become more familiar with one another. And these changes reflect increased participation in meaningful occupations outside of therapy. Circus based intervention can also support a greater willingness to try new tasks, and many individuals avoid unfamiliar activities due to the fear of failure or low confidence or previous negative experiences. And circus challenges this pattern by creating a safe environment where exploration is expected and mistakes are normalized. Within this environment, participants learn that trying is more important than performing perfectly. They learn that adjustment is part of learning. They learn that persistence leads to improvement, and over time, this mindset can transfer into everyday life. A person may become more willing to attempt new academic tasks or explore unfamiliar hobbies or engage in activities that they previously avoided. And this shift in mindset is one of the most meaningful forms of therapeutic progress. Another key area of carryover is persistence and problem solving. Circus activities often require continuous adjustment, and if a scarf drops, a participant tries again. If balance is lost, they correct and continue. And if timing is off, they modify their approach, which I've seen across both sites that I was at for my capstone experience in my capstone project. One being a pediatric summer camp and the other being an independent living facility. And this repeated cycle of attempt, feedback, and adjustment builds problem solving skills in a very natural way. And these skills are not just task specific, they reflect broader cognitive and emotional strategies. So, when transferred into daily life, this may look like trying a different approach when something is difficult at school, persisting through frustration during a challenging work task, adapting strategies when something doesn't go as planned, maintaining effort even when outcomes are not immediate. These are functional life skills, not just performance based skills. And this is where circus based intervention connects directly to functional independence. And circus based intervention contributes to this by strengthening the underlying abilities that support participation. These skills include motor skills, also confidence and adaptability, problem solving, and the willingness to engage. And independence is not only about physical ability, it is also about mindset, persistence, and self trust. Circus helps support these foundations by creating repeated opportunities for safe, challenge, and success. And another important aspect of real world transfer is identity. When individuals experience success in circus based activities, they may begin to see themselves differently. Instead of seeing themselves as someone who can't do this or certain things, they may begin to see themselves as someone who can learn, adapt, and improve. And this shift in self perception can influence participation far beyond the therapy setting. It can affect how someone approaches school, work, social interactions, new life experiences. The role of occupational therapy is essential in facilitating this transfer. And therapists do not assume that change will automatically generalize. Instead, they intentionally highlight connections between therapeutic activities and real world situations. They may reflect with clients on what strategies help them succeed. They may draw attention to moments of persistence or problem solving. They may encourage clients to recognize their own progress and strengths. And this reflective process helps bridge the gap between therapy and daily life. It is also important to recognize that transfer does not always look the same for everyone. For some individuals, changes are immediately visible in daily routines. For others, transfer may be gradual and subtle, and it may show up first as increased willingness rather than full independence. It may begin with participation before performance improves, and all of these are valid forms of progress. Circus-based intervention is effective not because it guarantees instant generalization, but because it creates repeated, meaningful opportunities for engagement, challenge, and reflection. And these experiences build a foundation that can support broader participation over time. Intervention is not limited to what happens in a session. Its true impact is seen in how individuals begin to engage more fully in their lives, in schools, in community participation, and everyday occupations that give life meaning. The core message for this episode is simply what happens in circus doesn't stay in circus, it transfers to life. So, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. Thank you for joining me. Stay tuned for the next episode, episode 5, Rethinking Therapy Through Circus. Bye. Before you go, be sure to check out the link tree in the video description. There you'll find additional resources related to circus-inspired occupational therapy, including the toolkit that I created, the website that I created, as well as you already have access to the YouTube miniseries. All of this information is designed to support therapists, students, caregivers, and educators as well. Thank you for watching, and I hope these resources help you incorporate meaningful, engaging movement into your own practice. Don't forget to share it. Thank you so much. Bye.